For years, countless people have started their mornings with a quiet sense of guilt. They look down at a simple breakfast plate and wonder if they're making a mistake. Maybe you've been there yourself. Maybe you've stood in your kitchen holding an egg, remembering all the warnings you've heard throughout your life. Too much cholesterol, bad for your heart. Limit your eggs. These messages have been repeated so often that many people stopped questioning them. Some gave up one of their favorite foods entirely. Others threw away the yolk and ate only the whites, believing they were protecting their health. But what if the fear was never as simple as we were led to believe? What if one of the world's most affordable and nutritious foods spent decades carrying a reputation it didn't fully deserve? Today, we're going to uncover the truth about eggs, and by the end of this video, you may never look at your breakfast the same way again. The story of eggs is surprisingly emotional because it reflects something that happens again and again in nutrition. People genuinely want to be healthy. They want to protect their hearts, live longer lives, and make good choices for their families. Yet sometimes, in the search for better health, confusion takes over. One decade a food is praised, the next decade it's criticized. People are left wondering who to trust. Eggs became one of the biggest examples of this confusion. For years, they were placed in the spotlight as a potential threat because of their cholesterol content. The concern sounded logical. If high cholesterol in the blood is linked to heart disease, and eggs contain cholesterol, then eating eggs must increase the risk. It seemed straightforward, but science rarely stays simple for long. A single egg contains an impressive amount of nutrition packed into a remarkably small package. It provides high-quality protein, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and important nutrients that support the body from head to toe. Yet despite all of these benefits, many people focused on just one thing: cholesterol. As a result, eggs became feared by millions. Families changed their breakfast habits. Restaurants promoted egg white omelets. Grocery stores marketed products designed to avoid egg yolks. An entire generation grew up believing that eggs were something to enjoy cautiously, if at all. What makes this story fascinating is what researchers began discovering as studies became more advanced. Scientists learned that the relationship between dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol was far more complicated than previously thought. The human body is not a simple machine, where every gram of cholesterol eaten immediately becomes cholesterol in the bloodstream. Instead, the body has sophisticated systems for maintaining balance. When researchers started examining how people responded to dietary cholesterol, they found something surprising. For many healthy individuals, eating cholesterol-rich foods had a much smaller impact on blood cholesterol levels than expected. The body often adjusts its own cholesterol production. When more cholesterol comes from food, the liver may produce less. This balancing act doesn't mean diet is irrelevant, but it does mean the story is much more nuanced than the warnings many people grew up hearing. At the same time, researchers began paying closer attention to the overall nutritional value of eggs. They found that eggs provide complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot produce on its own. These amino acids are critical for building and repairing tissues, maintaining muscle mass, supporting the immune system, and carrying out countless biological processes. In a world where many people struggle to get enough quality protein, eggs offer a simple and affordable solution. Then there is choline, a nutrient that receives far less attention than it deserves. Choline plays an essential role in brain function, memory, nervous system communication, and liver health. Many people fail to consume enough choline through their diets, yet egg yolks are among the richest natural sources available. Ironically, the very part of the egg that people were throwing away contains some of its most valuable nutrients. The yolk also provides vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and antioxidants that support long-term health. Imagine 2 breakfast tables. At one table sits a person eating a sugary pastry and a sweetened coffee drink. At the other table sits someone eating eggs alongside fruit and vegetables. For years, public discussions sometimes focused so heavily on the cholesterol in the eggs that they overlook the bigger picture. Health is influenced by entire dietary patterns, not single foods viewed in isolation. This realization has transformed how many nutrition experts evaluate the role of eggs in a healthy lifestyle. As the evidence accumulated, the narrative surrounding eggs began to change. Large studies involving hundreds of thousands of participants found that moderate egg consumption was not associated with the dramatic increases in heart disease risk that many had feared. Researchers discovered that the effects of eggs varied among individuals. Some people experienced small changes in cholesterol levels, while others experienced virtually none. More importantly, the relationship between cholesterol and cardiovascular health proved far more complex than simply counting the cholesterol content of foods. One reason is that cholesterol travels through the bloodstream in different types of particles. You may have heard terms like HDL and LDL. HDL is often called the good cholesterol because higher levels are generally associated with lower cardiovascular risk. LDL is often called the bad cholesterol, but even that description oversimplifies reality. LDL particles come in different sizes and characteristics. Scientists learned that particle size and overall metabolic health can matter just as much as total cholesterol numbers. This doesn't mean cholesterol should be ignored. It means understanding cardiovascular health requires a broader perspective. Another important factor is satiety. Many people struggle with constant hunger, cravings, and overeating. Protein-rich foods like eggs can help people feel fuller for longer periods. A breakfast that includes quality protein may reduce the desire for unnecessary snacking later in the day. This can support healthy weight management, which itself plays a major role in cardiovascular health. In other words, eggs may indirectly contribute to positive health outcomes simply because they help people build more satisfying meals. As people age, maintaining muscle becomes increasingly important. Loss of muscle mass is associated with weakness, reduced mobility, and decreased quality of life. Protein is essential for preserving muscle tissue, and eggs provide one of the highest quality protein sources available. For older adults, this can be particularly valuable. The ability to prepare a simple meal that delivers substantial nutritional benefits becomes increasingly important. As life grows busier and physical needs change, eye health is another area where eggs offer surprising benefits. Egg yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that accumulate in the retina and help protect the eyes from oxidative damage. Researchers have linked these nutrients to long-term visual health. In a modern world where people spend hours each day staring at screens, nutrients that support eye function are more relevant than ever. Despite these benefits, it's important to avoid swinging from one extreme to another. The goal is not to claim that eggs are a miracle food, capable of solving every health problem. Nutrition rarely works that way. No single food determines your future health. What matters most is the overall pattern of your lifestyle.